How are you? How do I sound to you?
You sound clear. Good.
Yeah,
Loud
so
enough.
loud enough?
Loud enough, not too loud. So
All right.
you're pretty good.
Likewise. How do you feel about our field mic? Picking up the shoe squeaks and stuff. Are you comfortable with the level it's at right now?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Cool.
If you want to adjust the field mic like that, it never really bothers me how loud or little it is. So I'm usually pretty good with it based on whatever the other person wants. So if you're good with it,
yeah, that's fine with me for now. I was going to say, do you typically do the mic on the inside, though? Like the inside of your other partner? Or?
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's just pretty much as long as I can hear you clearly, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, likewise. Welcome, everyone, to Titan Fieldhouse in the lovely Melbourne, Florida. I'm Ty Heckathorn. My broadcast partner for tonight's doubleheader will be June Yoon, none other than my friend and great partner. To call some exciting action tonight between Eastern Florida and Miami-Dade. We're going to start with the women's matchup here at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The battle between the Titans and the Sharks features two teams that are on different trajectories. June, what has it been like in recent games for each of these sides?
Yeah, like what you said, Ty, it's been some different trajectories for both of these teams. For the Titans, they're coming into this game on a bit of a cold streak. They've lost 3 in a row. And for the Sharks, I mean, they've been hot lately. I mean, they've won 4 games in a row, had a dominant performance against Hillsborough. And again, you have to look at some of these players, especially
Meredith Venner for
Meredith,
Miami-Dade?
especially with Meredith Venner, National Player of the Week. She's been dominant, especially against the glass. It's something that you especially have to look forward to in this game.
Absolutely. And, I mean, just kind of casually dropped that there, but she was just named National Player of the Week today. So that's some exciting news for the Sharks coming into this matchup. They sit at 9-6, 3-2 in conference play so far, whereas the Titans are sitting at 5-10 on the year, 0-3 in conference. Head coach Zach Banks is looking to pick up that first conference win. We're going to get back into talking about this action and give you the starting lineups, but we're going to step away for just a moment as we're about to have our national anthem. Back in just a minute.
Thank you for coming out to Titan Fieldhouse. It is EFSC Alumni Friends and Fans Night, and it's also a Citrus Conference game as Miami-Dade College faces your Eastern Florida State College women's basketball team. And now, please rise and move your hats as the Eastern Florida Pep Band plays the national anthem.
we approach tip-off, we want to get you both of those starting lineups at this EFSC Fans and Friends Night here in Melbourne. Starting with the away starting lineup for the Sharks. They are going to be rolling out a starting five with Rihanna Callahan, Jasmine Bynum, Julie Da Silva, Ajani Colbert, and that National Player of the Week, Meredith Venner. For the home side Titans, Eastern Florida is featuring Bruna Da Silva, Shadea Lada Santa Cruz, Angela Merkovic, Grace Strickland, and Ofer Papara. June, we pointed out the highlight player probably for the Sharks already on Miami-Dade, but who are you wanting to keep your eye on as we get into this matchup for the Titans?
It's got to be Bruna Da Silva. Despite the cold streak for the Titans, she's been averaging 21 points in the past 4 games, so she's been coming into this game absolutely hot, shooting from beyond the arc.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Well, the Titans are certainly going to need her to maintain that hot shooting touch. They're shooting just under 30% from outside as a team so far this year, and they have their work cut out for them because they're going up against a team that's scoring about 22, 23 points more per game in Miami-Dade, averaging over 83 a night.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's just one thing that you have to really look into this match, especially with these two teams. And again, like what we mentioned before with Venner, again, winning the battle against the glass, and that's something that the Sharks have been doing all season long. I mean, they have some really big size on their roster as well. Venner has only had 4 games where she's had less than 10 rebounds.
That's pretty remarkable because it's, with the shooting percentages higher, not going to be tough to accumulate that many boards. But we're about to have tip, and real quick shout out to our officiating crew for tonight's game. It is going to be Ian Ross, Ashley Calisan, and Jarrell Bailey. Here is the opening jump, and controlled by the Sharks. Quick entry pass down low in the post. Short. There's an offensive rebound already, and the stick back for Venner.
Again, and we've been speaking about it already. Early on, Venner able to get that, and again, second chance points right there for the Sharks.
As I said, it took a very short amount of time for something we highlighted. Always take great pleasure in that as a broadcaster to have what you kind of set up, showcased immediately. The drive and the lefty finish. Not getting the clean rejection was Venner, so shooting foul and a chance for 2 at the line early.
Her first, team's first. For Papara to the line for 2.
That's going to be a big thing to watch out for too, June, is foul trouble. If the Titans can get Venner into foul trouble early, they can kind of mitigate her presence down low on the boards.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, again, that's somebody that the Titans especially have to look at, and if they can eliminate that presence on the floor, I mean, that'd be huge for the Titans in trying to get their first conference victory this season.
Certainly. And both free throws are good for Papara. 2-2 ball game in the early going. First quarter action here from Titan Fieldhouse in Melbourne. Post entry pass intercepted. Nice steal there. Going to need a lot of plays like that on the defensive end for the Titans if they want to limit the scoring that has been very strong for the Sharks this year.
Yeah, Papara has been very active in the open goings of this first quarter. Getting us takeaway there and then making both of her free throws.
And Papara looking to draw contact there. Doesn't get the call, but an excellent job getting the hands up on the outlet pass. Another steal for the Titans. They'll swing it around the outside. High screen, nope. Nice finish in down low with the left hand. Angela Merkovic getting on the board for the first time.
Yeah, one thing that we haven't even mentioned for the Titans is that they're missing one of their best players in this match. Lazarevic has been ruled out with an ankle injury. It's something that Titans surely will be missing in today's match.
That's a great point, June, as Jasmine Bynum gets the easy inside deuce. Coming back with it now are the Titans, but Milica Lazarevic's presence sorely missed. They're hoping to have her back after a quick road trip when they return home here January 17th. Now caught with it up on the right wing. Papara will drive and pass the foul line. Nice backdoor cut, but just a misconnect on the bounce pass on the baseline. Turnover by the Titans. 4-4, just over 2 minutes into this first quarter.
Yeah, it's been very active from both teams that you've seen. I think been a lot of action going on both sides of the court. I think the Titans have actually had a pretty good start to it. They just need to start getting some of those buckets in and not having those costly turnovers there.
It's a good point. And speaking of activity, the activity with the hands on the defensive end for the Titans is what stood out, already creating deflections and steals. Turnover battle will be something huge to combat the size mismatch that they're facing against these Sharks. A nice turnaround, Jay, no good. Swung out to the wing, the three balls up and off the back iron. Quick rebound, a nice outlet up ahead, lay in, too strong. Sharks can't convert on a 2-on-1 breakaway. Got behind the defense, but not the finish. And now Bynum got in there and knocked it out of bounds. Titans retain possession. It's inbounds. De Silva, nice reverse finish under the basket.
And again, that's something for Bruna De Silva and what she's been doing in the past several games for the Titans this season. She's been an absolute scoring powerhouse for them.
Yes, June, you mentioned it. And now losing the ball. Nice hustle to dive on the floor to get after that one. And a pass, a little bit ambitious there from Strickland, trying to find her teammate up ahead. Vinner does a nice job getting the hands up. We're going to have our first substitution of the game. Early change for the Sharks.
Yet again, we talk about Venner's size there, and she was just able to get up, get her hand in there, and knock that ball out of bounds.
Yes, Venner, a 6'3" freshman from Columbia. That one from the outside is no good. Quickly coming back with it. Are the Sharks looking to push the tempo? Something they do. Mid-range J, too strong. Good, strong rebounding attempt there, but that's going to be a loose ball foul called. Jasmine Bynum picks up her first. Second team foul in the early going for Miami-Dade.
Yeah, it's very interesting on how the Sharks have been playing so far in this opening quarter, especially with how high scoring this team actually has been leading up into this game.
And looking to press defensively to create some easy buckets for themselves too, June, as we saw them already setting up full court press on that last entry. Coming around the screen now, Strickland with it up top. Crossover, nice pass down low to Papara, and she finishes through the contact.
And there's Papara again. She's had a really good first quarter for the Titans. That's something that the Titans really need, and just the scoring distribution that's being spread out across the entire roster.
It was a good physical bucket on her end, but responding immediately from the right block of her own was Meredith Venner.
Yeah, it looks like a high press by the Sharks.
Yes, now swing. Not looking to settle for the easy outside deuce. A nice in-tree pass, swung back outside. I like the inside-outside game there, the thought from Papara, but she maybe could have had an easier two if she settled. Now Bynum's lefty finish, no good. Nice job by Santa Cruz, hustling around to get the board for the Titans. Merkovich wants it from the outside. Or Papara, sorry. She's off the mark with that one. Fast pace indeed here, June. Both teams. And a nice swat.
You got to look at that. But going offensively, I think you've got to love the ball movement that the Titans have had. Just going against the bucket there. I mean, they're getting the ball inside. They're getting it back around the perimeter. The ball movement's been really fast-paced, just like what you said.
Well, up-tempo offenses could provide plenty of scoring opportunities and also those high rebound numbers you mentioned that Venner's been getting. That triple is buried from the outside. Sharks retake the lead, 9-8, just over the halfway mark of this first quarter.
Especially the Sharks, they have not been the best three-point shooting team, but that's a huge one there for them.
No, they haven't. Just over 26% so far this year through 15 games, but they knocked that one down. Okay, the Titans get a nice drive. Papara back to Merkovich. Good job swinging around to get the rebound, and it's all the way around the horn. That three ball's up and good.
Again, Bruna De Silva again just shooting. She's been shooting really well from beyond the arc, and she proves it again there. Oh, and there's a turnover by the Sharks.
Yes, lost ball. Santa Cruz dribbles it out. De Silva looks to settle it down. Swing. Strickland drives into the middle. That shot up from the baseline. Merkovich, no good.
But again, you got to really love what the Titans are doing offensively in this game.
You do, and then after Callahan gets the board for the Sharks, Miami-Dade looking to respond in a good back-and-forth contest so far, June. That one is from the top of the arc, launched, no good. Papara pulls it down for the Titans. Strickland will bring it up. This time, off the miss, you see the Sharks here don't go up into that full-court pressure. Be interesting to keep an eye on and see what Coach Summons wants to do with her squad if they'll maintain that full-court defensive pressure.
Yeah, I mean, again, another thing to bring up, too, is that the Titans have actually been pretty dominant in this matchup over the past couple of meetings. They've actually won 10 of the last 11 meetings when these two teams meet up.
Well, if they want to keep that trend going, they're going to have to maintain the same style of play defensively they've exhibited so far. Merkovich with the bucket on the other end. Venner again, though, proving to be tough to handle and showcasing some of why she was just named National Player of the Week earlier today. That is her third made field goal already of this first quarter.
Yeah, Ty, you said it. That's why she's been named National Player of the Week. Just getting up, again, using her size to her advantage, especially in this matchup where you can just kind of see her on the broadcast, too. How she's kind of tall and just overpowering over the rest of the players on the court.
Yes, a physical scorer. Strickland will pull up from the baseline. That mid-range J is good. Titans up by 4.
Yeah, I mean, Grace Strickland's a player for the Titans that's been coming up kind of big for them lately over the past several games.
Callahan wants to turn around from the elbow. Short irons that one. Santa Cruz the rebound. Two minutes remaining in this first quarter for Melbourne. The women's game, the first half of a Citrus Conference doubleheader. It's EFSC Fans and Friends Night. Thanks for watching the YouTube live stream. Santa Cruz throws that one up too strong off the glass. Now here is Costanza Otavena, the first sub into the game for the Sharks. Swings it over to Bynum. She pulls up from outside again, rattles around, doesn't connect. Offensive rebound, and that's going to be an over-the-back call. Ambitious.
Fouls on number 35, Meredith Venner.
That's her second, June.
Yeah, and again with Venner, I mean, we talked about her, but again, just trying to use her size, but maybe a bit too much there.
Perhaps, but with that foul call, we're going to have our first media timeout. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hello, friends. You know that you can count on WEFS-TV to provide programs that inform, inspire, and connect you with your community. But we can't do this alone. If you value independent, local, public television, please consider making a donation to WEFS-TV today. Every donation makes a difference, regardless of the size. Visit WEFSTV.org and click on the Donate button to make your donation. Thank you for supporting WEFS-TV, your community public television station.
All right, so just a minute and a half to go in this first quarter, June, and we just saw Meredith Venner, something we pointed out, the foul trouble, picked up her second personal in this first quarter with that reaching over the back call. You want to praise the physicality and the hustle to get after the offensive glass, something the whole team does very well for Miami-Dade, but a costly foul potentially there already with her second of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Venner, just see it right there. I mean, she was also just exchanging some words with one of the officials, Ashley Chalison. She really strongly disagreed with that call.
Well, you can disagree with the officials all you want, but unfortunately, that is her second, so she's going to have to deal with it and just make the most of her opportunities and be a little bit more mindful when she's down low moving forward. Going up for that one, just avoiding the shot clock violation. The Sharks get it, but immediately a turnover. Now Papara has it, jumping the passing lane there.
Yeah, I mean, I really love what I've seen from Papara during this first quarter of this matchup. And again, she's been active and just forced another turnover there.
Yes, and now with that deflection out of bounds, we're going to have another substitution as Strickland immediately checks back in for Spence, and Merkovich will check back in for Queen Powell. A couple of players off the bench that don't see the most playing time, but Coach Zach Banks likes the starting five that he's going with, trusts them, wants them to close out this quarter strong as they build a 4-point lead. Nice over-the-top lob pass. Merkovic can't hang on to it, and last touch by her, so that's a turnover. Sharks take over.
Yeah, and again, but I really still, again, despite that turnover there, again, the way that Banks has his team moving the ball and trying to get inside of the paint and trying to get those buckets in, it's just really been working well for them overall.
Another notable point as we're talking about the coaches and Zach Banks, it's his first year here. A nice looking step through move, called a travel, as had the shuffling of the feet there. So that's a turnover for the Sharks, and now the Titans with the opportunity to close out the first quarter with the ball. Strickland inbounds Papara. There's nice pressure by Miami-Dade up on Santa Cruz. Strickland will slowly bring it up, giving Eastern Florida time to set up the offense. Get a last good look at the basket here. Da Silva from outside, buries the triple, and that's the buzzer. The first quarter comes to a close, an 18-11 advantage. The home side is built for themselves. Eastern Florida and head coach Zach Banks have to be happy with the effort we just saw.
I mean, again, just going offensively has just been brilliant from Zach Banks and his side. Again, the ball movement around the arc and then just trying to get the ball into the paint has been working really effectively for them.
It really has. So we'll see, though, as fatigue perhaps come into play, as we have just a much smaller roster, a smaller rotation to work with for Zach Banks, the first-year head coach with the Titans, than Summons has, who's in her 38th year at Miami-Dade. We're going to break down more of the action when we come back for the second quarter, but we're going to step away for a quick moment as we have some fun activities that are going to be happening during tonight's doubleheader as part of the EFFC Fans and Friends Night. We'll be back in just a minute. Second quarter resuming play. Titans inbound the ball.
Yeah, that was nearly stolen there by Colbert.
Nice job applying pressure, getting up into the ball handlers by Miami-Dade so far. And here even just now you see making it tough on Strickland as she drives and is stripped of it. And now nice pass up ahead and right-hand finish.
Yeah, that's something that the Sharks need to get going there offensively. Again, they've been one of the higher scoring offenses as of late especially, so that's something that they really need to get going for them.
Rihanna Callahan with the bucket on that end. Bruna Da Silva with another tray on the other end here. Titans 21-13. That ball knocked away. Last touch by Bynum, out of bounds, back to the Titans.
Yeah, how about Bruna Da Silva? I mean, she's really keeping that hot streak going, especially shooting from beyond the arc.
Yes, you mentioned her double figures scoring streak and her contributions of like 15 plus in recent games, 9 out of 10, I think, in double figures. Very hot shooting as of late. Looks like that's continuing so far tonight. Strickland with a nice crossover, into the lane, the up fake to Silva again from the corner. Can't hit that time. Rebound knocked away from Werner, and then a foul call down low Santa Cruz went driving in for the second chance bucket. She's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Laura Santa Cruz, again, another player that's just really been getting in there, playing some aggressive basketball, and really, again, just getting up against the glass and forcing a foul, and now she's going to go to the line.
And Venner is going to the bench, having to make a substitution. We talked about it late in the first quarter when she picked up the over the back, her second personal. Now her third, just over a minute into the second quarter. That is huge because that has taken away not only the National Player of the Week, but just the star that the Sharks can count on. Somebody that's been powering them to this 9-6 start this season. Both free throws down for Santa Cruz, and it is now a double-digit lead for the Titans. You said the Titans have taken 10 out of the last 11 matchups against Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade, of course, looking to break with that trend. They have an uphill climb now. Coming off the screen and roll, drive, lefty finish, denied by De Silva.
I mean, De Silva is great offensively, and what a great defensive play she just made there. She's working it from both sides of the court today.
5'9", but she rejected that like she was a 6'9" forward. Papara checks out for the Titans. Inbound, Callahan throws it up and in. Rihanna Callahan is somebody with size also at 6'4" from St. Petersburg. Miami-Dade may need to count on her more, June, with Venner at the bench.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big loss really so far for the Sharks, as Venner's picked up 3 personal fouls, and they had to take her out. She's in foul trouble early in this second quarter.
It's going to be tough for Coach Summons to deal with. We saw Strickland miss the mid-range J on the other end. Now a defensive foul called on the Titans. Ball is going to stay with the Sharks.
Yeah, but again, for the Titans, I mean, just kind of forcing Venner into foul trouble, and that's going to be proving to be huge so far for them, especially even when Venner was on the court, too.
It will. That pass through the hands, getting back to recollect it. Nearly a turnover on the inbound. That actually was just a loose ball, so no foul call against Eastern Florida. This one goes off the knee of Callahan. She hustles after it, nearly colliding into the scores table, but there is the turnover for the Sharks.
And she's frustrated with herself on that one. I think she thought that she for sure could have kept that in bounds.
She did. Now, Queen Powell checks back out. Have Merkovich with Papara, Santa Cruz, Strickland, and De Silva. Once again, the starting 5 for the Titans out there. Whereas you see the deeper rotation we were talking about earlier, Coach Summons and Miami-Dade having to reach into it early in this game. De Silva drives baseline, circles back to the top for Strickland, finds Santa Cruz, has the driving lane through the middle, spin, right hand finish, too strong. Here comes Miami-Dade. They're going to slow things down now here, June. A nice one-handed pass.
Man, I mean, Laura Santa Cruz has been really good in this second quarter. I mean, I like how aggressive she's been, too, offensively going towards the glass.
She really has. Strickland has all day to fire that one, but despite the clearing in front of her, she can't connect on the 3-ball. Bynum on the other end, goes up through Strickland, draws contact, and will get a chance for 2 at the foul line. 6:42 left in this second quarter, June. Still 8-point deficit the Sharks are facing.
Yeah, the Sharks are trying to slowly eat their way back into this lead, but it's been a really strong start for the Titans. And again, just like what we said, we mentioned her name many times, Meredith Venner, but eliminating her so far in this second quarter has been huge for them.
It has. Bynum doesn't quite get the friendly roll there. Missing on the first. The Sharks as a team, you mentioned to me before the game that they're shooting just 59% from the foul line this year. She can't connect on either of the pair. Here comes Santa Cruz. Looking for an open teammate. Miami-Dade still playing good defense, contesting every pass and nearly every shot. Spence, who just checked back into the game, drives left, off the mark. That one's Fired from the left wing and in. Johnny Colberth from deep.
That's a huge three for the Sharks and something to swing the momentum potentially their way.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to call it a momentum stopper for the Titans because they've held on to it. With that whistle, we're going to step away for just about 30 seconds. 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. We'll be right back. Well, right before we stepped away, you mentioned the shift of momentum potentially out after that Colberth 3. Obviously, the Sharks are going to need to do more of that, but what else does Miami-Dade need to change, June, in order to get themselves not just back level, but to retake the lead?
I mean, it's something that they have been doing a lot of over the past couple of games has been really winning the battle against the board. And even if they're getting the rebounds, they haven't been really taking advantage of the second chance points.
No, that's true. In the first couple of possessions, right off the bat, we pointed it out because they did. But with the loss of Venner, at least her playing time due to the foul trouble, it's obvious that we can tell it's going to be tough for Miami-Dade to find it from anyone else. We'll see who can step up for them as the Titans have the ball. And Strickland's looking to go to work. Spin move, kick out, Merkovic. She hits from the baseline. That has been a hot spot for the Titans in this first half. They've made a lot of buckets from that left baseline.
Yeah, and Ty, how about that move from Grace Strickland? Nice little spin move and then a pass out into the corner there. Like what you said, it's been a hot spot for them.
Some crafty playmaking, and now we see the spin, but turned into traffic and a turnover by the Sharks. Santa Cruz with it. She'll pass to Papara, who spins back at the left block after rounding underneath. Santa Cruz gets it back wide open from the right corner. She can't hit. Miami-Dade looking to work with pace. Colberth, soft touch, can't get the finish. Halfway mark of the second. It is 25-18 Eastern Florida on top of Miami-Dade in this Centris Conference game in Melbourne. Papara with the up fake. Kick out. Strickland nails it. Back to a 10-point lead with that tray from the Titans.
Grace Strickland doing it all, getting assists and then having a beautiful look there from beyond the arc. I mean, that's shooting great as of late and even in this game itself.
It's a nice shot there, June. And a good drive and getting rejected from behind. Excellent work by Merkovic to put her hand up and stop that shot. Titans. One thing I've seen from them offensively so far, June, and you can concur or not, is the patience and shot selection has been pretty good from Zach Banks' squad.
Yeah, and again, I mean,
telegraph pass picked off by Colberth, and she'll get the easy deuce on the breakaway finish.
What I was going to say before the turnover was the ball movement was really good. Like when you said patience, and they're finding the open looks, waiting for them to open up.
Well, I don't know if you want to call that a pre-announcer's jinx or whatnot, but I suppose they just got ahead of you there. This time swung back safely. Strickland's got an open look. Her three's off the mark. A couple of players going down hard in the paint. Miami-Dade going to have to value every possession. Bynum draws a foul on the drive.
Yeah, especially one thing for the Sharks is the turnover margin has not been looking good for them tonight. I mean, 9 turnovers already in this first half, and the Titans have surely been taking advantage of that.
They have. And one thing, too, is the lack of fouls comparatively for the Titans that they've picked up and lack of opportunities at the foul line that you would have expected Miami-Dade to generate with the offensive rebounding, the physicality inside. Santa Cruz with a nice job there after she just picked up the foul, second team foul for the Titans in this quarter. Active hands again, getting in there and trying to make a difference in that turnover margin you were just talking about. Coming off the high screen, seen Bynum do the majority of the ball handling for the Sharks here. Nice job by Merkovich to tip that rebound over to her teammate Santa Cruz. Brianna Callahan picks up the foul. Her first of the game.
Again, the Sharks have been winning the rebound battle today, but they haven't really been taking advantage of that.
No, they haven't, and I don't know if this is in response to the score of the game or any other factor, but Coach Summons has drifted away from that full court pressure we were seeing earlier. Now backing off, looking to play in a half court defense. Man-to-man, De Silva gets open and hits again.
I mean, you just saw Bruno De Silva there too, just her reaction towards the Titans bench. She knows she's been on it as of late, and she proves it time and time again.
She is fired up, June, and looking to get all of her teammates in on it with her. That ball knocked away. Looks like Queen Powell's going to come back in here. Checking in for Merkovich. Going to have Julie De Silva take it out underneath for the Sharks. Nice physical battle inside, and active hands from Strickland results in a steal and the left-handed lay-in. Nice job on the contested finish. It is 33-20 Titans.
And again, the Titans taking advantage of those turnovers. They're taking the ball away, and they're scoring points off of it too.
That's a key thing, is to not just create the turnovers, but then to capitalize on them, and they have done so more often than not.
Number 20,
Grace Strickland, though, just picks up her second personal. Third team foul. Not yet in the bonus, so it's going to be inbounds for the Sharks. Thinking about it in the corner there was Adavena. Now down low. Callahan draws a foul on Powell.
Again, I think without Venner, they've been trying to get something going on in the paint with Callahan. She's been really active in the paint, but just hasn't really been able to get it going. But Venner checks back into the game.
Well, I was about to say, as they're seeing this lead for the Titans grow, the need for Venner's impact felt all the more. Here, a chance for two at the line. Callahan's first is good. Shooting just about 60% from the foul line, right on par with the team average, but Brianna Callahan knocks down both there. 2 minutes left in this second quarter. Titans up big on their conference foes, 33-22 here at Titan Fieldhouse. Santa Cruz has Venner on her one-on-one drive. Looking to draw contact and pick up a key fourth foul, unable to do so. And the miss results in the Sharks bringing it down the other way. Nice hands from Paparia. Just throwing up the long arms and stealing it away.
And just on that move there, it seemed like Venner knows she's in foul trouble. She kind of backed off a little bit.
She did, a conservative approach, mindful of her situation, not wanting to worsen the foul trouble. Santa Cruz now driving. Titans will swing it around the outside. De Silva finds a lane just off the mark. Looking for the righty finish off glass. Sharks settle for the outside triple, and that'll go off the corner of the backboard, but offensive rebound and picking up the foul on Powell. Julie De Silva
Fouls on number 32,
just
Queen Powell. Her second
gave it a run at the
today.
basket, right into Powell. It's going to be two more free throws as we have 5 team fouls on the Titans in the second quarter. In comes Spence for Powell.
Julie De Silva to the line.
De Silva gets a friendly front iron roll. 6-foot sophomore from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and over from South Georgia Technical College. Got the start tonight for the Sharks. Only started 3 games previously this season, and that's going to be another foul called on Venner. Her 4th, June.
And again, I mean, she is 100% upset with that. Again, just still exchanging words with the officials, not really agreeing with these calls.
Just having a friendly conversation with the official, Jarrell Bailey, about that, but it looked like her left arm was wrapped around the defender with the clean box out. Now another whistle. Gonna wait and see what this is. Frustration mounting for Miami-Dade. This one was on the Titans, on Bruna De Silva. That'll draw a few claps from Sharks supporters. Ball back in the hands of Miami-Dade. 49 seconds to go in the second quarter. June, if you're Coach Summons and the Sharks, what do you want to see in the last minute?
I mean, especially, they really need to start, first of all, I mean, they got to start shooting a bit better from mid-range and then from beyond the arc, too.
Well, a couple of turnovers right back-to-back there as nobody could seem to get a handle on the ball. And a charge is called on Bynum. I know you were bringing up shooting, but you don't have the chance to improve your shooting if you don't get a shot on basket.
I was about to say, I mean, the turnover margin, too. I mean, Coach Summons has got to be upset with that. That's, 13 turnovers for the Sharks in this first half. 14, excuse me.
Compared to just 6 for the Titans. So, yeah, that margin, probably the biggest factor that has determined this 10-point difference in the first half tonight. But Summons and the Sharks are going to want a crucial stop here. And if they have time, get one last shot at the basket on the other end. Markovic will swing it to Papara. De Silva trying to post up Bynum down low. She'll come outside, fire up a 3. Back iron. Here the Sharks have a few seconds ticking off the clock. Nearly lost it. Bynum's going to have to chuck it from near half court. Off the backboard and no good. So we'll finish things out after 2. 33-23, Titans on top. June, there was a lot of action there. Offense seemed to disappear a little bit for both sides in the closing minutes, but what are a couple of key takeaways from either side as we go into halftime?
I mean, we've been speaking a lot about it in the second quarter. It's the turnover battle right now. And the Sharks, they've turned the ball over 14 times to just the Titans 6. Titans are able to get 9 points off those turnovers as well. But, again, shooting from beyond the arc has been huge for the Titans, especially from Bruna De Silva.
Yes, 5 made threes compared to 2 for the Sharks. The rebounding differential, which we talked about coming into the game, it was something you highlighted, has been largely in the favor of Miami-Dade, 22-12. And both advantages offensively and defensively, but it hasn't made the difference because of, like you said, the turnovers. So we'll see what the messages are for both coaches coming out of halftime and how they can adjust. But we appreciate all of you for listening to the live stream here on YouTube of EFSC Women's Basketball. It's Fans and Friends Night here at Titan Fieldhouse in Melbourne. We're going to have some halftime festivities happening down on the court. But in the meantime, we're going to kick it over for Titan Sports Time with the new tennis coach. And we hope that you all tune in and listen to that one. Thanks for listening. We'll be back after the break. I'm Ty Heckathorn and my broadcast partner, June Yoon. Catch out the conversation I had with tennis coach Nick Rosati. We'll be back.
Titans Sports Time, hosted by Mike Parsons.
Welcome to Titan Sports Time. I'm Mike Parsons, Director of Athletic Communications at Eastern Florida State College, and today I'm joined by tennis coach Nick Rossetti. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
And also, welcome to Eastern Florida State College. I guess, first of all, just talk about joining the team.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was kind of an odd situation where it was a mid-semester coaching change, and luckily I was in a situation out in Mississippi where I was able to kind of leave the program and transition this fall to Eastern Florida.
Talk about your career, started ABAC. First of all, what got you into coaching?
Right, absolutely. So I was born in Valdosta, Georgia, and like every Southern guy in Georgia, I played baseball till I was 13, 14 years old. And then I picked up a tennis racket the day before tryouts because you couldn't play baseball as a sixth grader at the middle school. You had to wait a year. So we said, okay, we'll do something for one year and then we'll go back to baseball. And then after that racket, I just never put it down. So that's kind of how I got into tennis. And then ABAC was just about a 30-minute drive from where I grew up. And so it was a really good opportunity to go and kind of as a late starter in the sport, just to have that opportunity to play college tennis. And that's kind of where, like you just said, where I made the decision where this is what I wanted to do. That's where I kind of got the epiphany. I was, one of the only Americans on the team. And so I was kind of like a lifeline for a lot of the internationals, and they'd come to our house for holidays and everything. And with one of the guys in particular, his name was Deepak Vishwakarma. He was a really good All-American in JUCO. Ended up going to Embry-Riddle. I think was an All-American in doubles. And the day he graduated from Embry, he called me. He said, "Hey, Nick, thank you so much for all your help with English 1101 and the tutoring. And I never would have gotten through the Epic of Gilgamesh if it wasn't for your help or whatever." And so I was like, that's kind of where my utility is derived from, that type of feeling, knowing that you helped a young person accomplish their dreams.
And then you went from ABAC to Valdosta State, so kind of back home for a while.
Yeah, so it was, the transition was pretty seamless. I wasn't good enough to play for Valdosta State, so that's also why I went to ABAC, and then very fortunately able to kind of transition back home. One of the players at ABAC went to VSU and was an All-American in singles and doubles, so that's kind of how that transition naturally flowed.
And how'd you decide, I know you talked about that was kind of the moment you had the epiphany, but how'd you decide I wanted to coach and this is what I want to do as a career?
But I think just really being immersed in the environment, it's the interpersonal relationships that you build with these players. They last a lifetime, and I think that's kind of, that's what the job is relationship building, and it's a lot better than sitting at a desk doing a 9-to-5.
100%. Kind of talk about your philosophy. I know we talked a little bit about your philosophy and what you like about tennis.
Yeah, so I have a very holistic approach with my student athletes. I think whenever I'm recruiting someone, I'm not just recruiting them as a player. I'm recruiting them as a person. And I tell everyone that tennis is what brings us together, but it's not what keeps us together. So we have to have a really good relationship off the court just as well as we do on if we're all going to be successful.
And talk about, coming here, both programs, one been at the top and it's really rolling. The other one is one you get to build, so you get a little bit of both sides, which is good as a coach.
That's right. And I'm super excited to kind of help continue the perennial success that Coach Cashman had recently, and some individual national champions is nice. But I'm looking forward to bringing home a team national championship and then getting the women a bit more competitive at the national stage. So it'll be a fun challenge. I've done it before. Like kind of came into a program and got them back up to national championship caliber status with the men at Valdosta State. So looking forward to just repeating that process.
And like you said, mid-semester kind of joining us. How is that transition, and how you really have to hit the boots on the ground kind of, because in less than almost a month now, we'll be starting matches in the spring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, super fortunate that Athletic Director Coach Carr kind of stepped in to help do a lot of the planning for the spring. So really just getting moved to the area, meeting the teams, getting them situated for the spring, and then, just have to start practicing and start hitting those matches.
What when you're going into your first season with a club, what kind of expectations or do you have, or is it just day to day, let's try to get better each day kind of thing?
Yeah, so obviously depending on the team, you'll have mutual team goals, whether it be regional, conference, or national championships, but really the way you achieve those is just focus on getting just a little bit better each day. So a lot of the way that practices are set up have a lot of short-term goals, just day to day. And so if we can check those boxes and cross our T's and dot our I's every single day, that'll have a cumulative effect for helping us achieve our season goals.
And kind of talk about personally, when you're not on the tennis court, what do you like to do?
So I'm a big runner. My competitive tennis days are long over. And so it's actually funny, whenever I was in Valdosta, I trained for an ultra marathon, the Daytona 100. And so I was down in the area 2 years ago and ran the 50-mile ultra here. So it's kind of funny that I'm back in the area and be looking to sign up for it this next year. And so.
Wow. How do you train for one of those?
You just have to be consistent. Just like we talked about with the tennis philosophy, you can't think about, I have to run this big, massive race. You just have to say, okay, I'm going to get my sleep in today, eat well, hydrate well, and go get my training run in. And then in however long your training program is, you'll be ready.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Titan Sports Time.
There's a lot of things you're good at. So what do you like to do that you want to do for the rest of your life?
And get paid.
At Eastern Florida State College, there's so many choices. With more than 100 career and technical programs to choose from, like aerospace and engineering technologies, aviation, welding, public safety, and more. There's definitely one you'll be good at. Learn at your own pace, in person, online, day or night.
What are you good at?
So come on, let's get started.
Hello, friends. You know that you can count on WEFS TV to provide programs that inform, inspire, and connect you with your community. But we can't do this alone. If you value independent, local public television, please consider making a donation to WEFS TV today. Every donation makes a difference, regardless of the size. Visit WEFSTV.org and click on the donate button to make your donation. Thank you for supporting WEFS TV, your community public television station.
All right, we are just a few minutes away from second half action between Eastern Florida Titans and the Miami-Dade Sharks here in Melbourne. It's fans and friends night here at Titan Fieldhouse. Had an exciting start to this game, and it's gotten a little shaky for both sides with the turnovers, some foul trouble on behalf of the star player, National Player of the Week, Meredith Venner. June, we talked a lot about the rebounding difference and the turnover difference in the first half. Coming into the second half, of course, it's the Sharks who face the uphill climb. what are some practical things they can do to make a difference and get themselves back level with the Titans?
You got to say, if you're Coach Summit, is definitely to minimize some of those turnovers, because the Titans have been taking the ball away quite a bit and really forcing not only turnovers but also fouls. I mean, like we said, Meredith Venner, National Player of the Week, but she's already got 4 fouls heading into the second half.
It's going to be tough to deal with, and it's a great point, just taking care of the ball. It sounds easy, but when you're turning it over at the rate and you can't just pin it on one player, Jasmine Bynum's been, handling / running the offense more than anyone else, but outlet passes in the half court, the turnovers have been coming every which way, and you have to give credit to the Titans defense for making that happen. If the Titans want to hold on to this lead now, obviously maintaining that defensive intensity is a must, but what else would Zach Banks and the Titans be looking to do primarily to hold on and win this game tonight?
I think one thing is definitely the way they've been moving the ball offensively. That, I think, it's kind of something that they should be keeping up. And they're finding, like you mentioned in the second period, that they've been very patient with the ball. They've been waiting and finding those open looks. And Bruna Da Silva continuing her hot streak, again, shooting fantastic from beyond the arc, and she's proving it time and time again tonight. I mean, right here, we can see it. She is 4 from 8 from three-point range, shooting 50% from beyond the arc. It's been a huge help for the Titans offensively.
Yeah, some hot shooting out there. And Bruna Da Silva, who has become the leading scorer on this squad, over 14 a game, is been leading the charge. It'll be interesting to see if she gets meaningful contributions from some of the teammates like Santa Cruz on the offensive end, or if it's going to be from Merkovich, because Merkovich has posted 6 games of double-digit scoring so far this year, so we know that she's capable, along with some others. But what will the Sharks do to kind of slow down Da Silva? We know that the game plan must have been for Banks' side, or in combination with some bad luck, to attack Venner and force her into this foul trouble. What can the Sharks do to slow down Da Silva?
I mean, I think one thing is, the Sharks are winning the battle against the glass, but not only just slowing down Da Silva, but it's also they need to get going offensively. They're not getting a lot of those second chance points, despite winning the rebound battle quite significantly too.
Yes, plus 10 in the rebound column. For the Sharks, we saw them trying to feed Callahan and Bynum trying to force it inside on the drives as well. Just not to much avail, because the Titans defense did a great job collapsing, putting their hands up, and getting in the way of shots and passes as the Sharks got into the half court. It's going to be tough to replace 19 points and 12 rebounds a game that the Sharks get out of Venner, but they're going to start with the ball down 10 in this third quarter as we get ready to get underway in second half action. Costanza Aravena gets the inbound pass from Colberth. Miami-Dade starts strong as Bynum. There she goes again, driving the lane and with the bucket. First 2 points of the half on the board for Miami-Dade.
And that's something that they really need to get going, is trying to get – they've been getting a lot of points in the paint, but maybe also they got to start eating into this lead, and that's a great start for them.
It is, and then you saw defensively, them putting the pressure on Da Silva of the Titans. Jump ball forced there.
Yeah, that was Bynum.
Excellent job with the tie-up. Titans had the possession arrow, so they're going to hang on to it underneath the basket. But I was just wanting to point out there, June, on the other side, Bruna Da Silva had size on her if Callahan, and then Colberth came over too. Santa Cruz is too strong on the mid-range J. Colberth with it on the other end. Up top to Aravena. Swing over to Bynum. Seen a lot of man-to-man. Turnaround J from Callahan. Knocked in from the left side. Quick 4-0 mini run for the Sharks.
Yeah, and Rihanna Callahan is a player that they got to get going too. Again, with Venner in foul trouble, despite her being on the court, but Callahan's got to step in big for the Sharks.
And now you see here the Sharks switching to a zone, looking to keep pressure. Da Silva drives past it, fires long. Venner throws it up ahead, 2-on-0. Easy bucket in transition. Zach Banks needing a quick timeout call. 6-0 run. The Sharks a dream start in the first minute 20 of the second half. Quick timeout, and we'll be right back.
There's a lot of things you're good at. So what do you like to do that you want to do for the rest of your life?
And get paid.
At Eastern Florida State College, there's so many choices. With more than 100 career and technical programs to choose from, like aerospace and engineering technologies, aviation, welding, public safety, and more. There's definitely one you'll be good at. Learn at your own pace, in person, online, day or night.
What are you good at?
So come on, let's get started.
All right, June, so we just saw Miami-Dade jump all over the Titans in the first minute and change here, bringing themselves back to within 4 right away. How exactly did they just go on that run?
I mean, again, they've been really quick on the ball. I mean, again, especially with getting the balls off when the Titans aren't able to score. They're moving the ball fast, and again, Venner, she's able to get that rebound. And again, the Titans, they just kind of look lost defensively. They're able to get the ball quickly going there. And again, a quick 6 points for them in this third quarter.
And this time, not just coming down with the rebound for the Titans or crashing the offensive glass being a big difference, but the fact that they weren't back in defense. I mean, there were 2 Sharks ahead of anybody for the Titans. Allowed that easy bucket. Strickland this time nailing the triple from the right side. There we go. That's exactly what Zach Banks wanted as he applauds his team from the bench coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, Strickland, again, another player that's been shooting really good from beyond the arc for the Titans.
Really good player, really good play from Bynum right there. Euro stepping and getting the righty finish. 36-31. Loose ball rolling ahead. Colberth has Callahan on her right. Santa Cruz coming up with the deflection. The steal and the 2-on-1 defensively. Now the pass and the finish. Some hard contact after the bucket. Gonna get a quick pause. A painful looking collision for Colberth and Papara. As Papara's gonna walk over to the bench. Looks like she took some contact to the head from Colberth there. She's going to get checked out on the side, and a substitution's allowed for Eastern Florida.
Yeah,
Spence checking in.
Looks like she might have got hit in her left eye there. I mean, she was kind of stumbling, heading over to the bench. Hope that she's okay.
She was, and someone's checking in with her player as well as Colberth walked over, but she's going to remain in the action. 7-point game, just over 2 minutes. We'll check back on Papara momentarily while she's being evaluated off to the side. Sharks with the ball. High screen from Callahan, outside Jay, off the mark, long rebound, Bynum in the corner, and then the feed inside, nicely deflected by Santa Cruz, something she's been doing all game. Just rangy defense.
Yeah, Laura Santa Cruz, again, pretty much with the defensive prowess for the Titans in this game.
The sophomore guard from Ecuador. Entry pass is long, and there's Santa Cruz coming up with that one, getting past the defense. And the right-handed lay-in is good.
And then she's turning that defense into points as well. Really good transition there for the Titans.
Wasting no time in transition. That triple off the mark, but the offensive board controlled by Callahan. She'll go back up with it, and contact from Merkovit. Callahan back to the line again tonight.
Foul on number 4, Bruna Da Silva, her second, team first.
And that foul call actually on Bruna Da Silva, picking up her second. I beg your pardon. Well, June, the momentum early was favoring the Sharks in this second half, but it swung back, it seems, almost to the Titans.
Yeah, I think that timeout called by Banks has really helped the Sharks, or excuse me, the Titans, and they've been able to respond very quickly.
They have that free throw, no good. Sharks just 3 of 7 so far from the foul line tonight. Brianna Callahan's second also rattles out, tipping it up and not quite securing the offensive board. Back come the Titans. Titans trying to figure out how to beat the zone. Colberth, excellent job deflecting and sending Santa Cruz all the way into the backcourt. Titans now crowd this side of the floor. De Silva looking to enter in the post. Feigned double team, Strickland over Merkovich. Baseline J, too strong. Spence with the offensive board. She'll swing it out, around. Strickland passes up on the triple from the top of the arc. Titans reload and taking their time with this possession. Strickland again circles, nice find. Merkovic wide open on the opposite block. Easy two. June, it's an 11-point lead for the Titans.
Yeah, how about the Titans being able to respond so quickly off of that timeout? They're just kind of keeping up what they were doing in the first half, and it's really been working for them.
You know what else is working? The bank in favor of Colberth on that triple. 42-34. Back down to single digits for the Sharks. Santa Cruz out to Spence. Over to Strickland. And once again, a nice pass. Strickland penetrating into the heart of the defense and finding an open teammate on the block. This time, Santa Cruz.
Strickland's been a real field general in this second half, finding really good passes and getting points in the paint for them.
She has an excellent job orchestrating the offense. Last touch by the Sharks there, out of bounds. Titans with possession almost halfway through this third quarter. 44-34 in Titan Fieldhouse. Titans looking to pick up their first conference win of the season. June sitting at 5-10, 0-3 in Citrus Conference play, as opposed to Miami-Dade, who's 9-6 and 3-2 in conference games so far. Queen Pao just checked into the game, and that's going to be a kicked ball off the lower leg of Callahan, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you're mentioning the records and how they are coming into this game. But again, if the Titans are able to get this victory, that should be a huge kind of momentum booster for them as they get on with some more conference games upcoming.
It would, and it was a tough loss in the last one for the Titans to Daytona State. But they've looked good tonight. Here's Strickland from the top of the key. No good. Ball bouncing around underneath. Kicks over to Merkovic. Now Santa Cruz able to slow it down. Strickland has another look. She'll drive inside. This time, instead of opting for the floater, she tried to pass to Powell.
Media timeout.
Last tipped. I think it's going to stay Titans possession, but we're going to have a quick media timeout. We'll be right back after this. All right, it's been a fun evening so far of women's basketball. Don't forget that we have the men's game coming up in the doubleheader right after this one. So far in Titan Fieldhouse, the story has been foul trouble for the National Player of the Week, Meredith Venner, the 6'3" freshman center from Columbia for the Sharks, whereas the Titans have created a lot of turnovers to build this 10-point advantage. June, we're coming back out. Titans have it under the basket. They've done a good job so far, and you were pointing out Grace Strickland, kind of field general out there on the court in this third quarter.
Yeah, she's kind of been doing it all for the Titans in this second half. Really just finding the open looks and making those passes, especially those in the paint.
She did, and nearly blowing the layup attempt. There was Colberth. She gets the stick back on the offensive rebound, but 2-on-1 opportunity still ultimately capitalized on for Miami-Dade. De Silva, another missed three ball. Had a few tonight.
Yeah, Bernard De Silva's just kind of been itching for the ball here in the second half. I mean, a couple times earlier on in this quarter, she's had some open looks, and I saw Coach Banks there kind of egging his players to say, like, kind of look at the corner. She's been open.
We'll see if they can find her and keep their eyes open. Rihanna Callahan off the mark on that three. Offensive board out. De Silva will give it to Bynum. drives, can't finish. Santa Cruz hit the deck for the Titans. Gets up as Eastern Florida runs it back. Strickland start the offense from the top. De Silva enters to Powell. Swings it from the elbow. Nice ball movement. You talked about it earlier, June. The Titans doing it again, but Powell loses it. Excellent job by Bynum to maintain her balance. Venner through the contact. Can't get the finish, but Santa Cruz will draw the foul. Chance for 2 at the line.
Yeah, after the multiple fouls, the Venner's committed. Just got one committed on her there. So she's able to get to the line, and, Sharks going to try to eat into this lead.
She's been looking for a whistle for a long time as Powell will head back to the bench. Spence back into the game for Eastern Florida. And coming back out of the locker room, June, I see Ofer Papara. That is a good sign as she goes back to take her seat on the bench, and perhaps she'll be ready to check back into the game for Coach Banks. Free throw off the mark. Venner gets it back, and she's going to head right back to the charity stripe after missing the second free throw. 44-37, 3.5 to go in this third quarter.
And that's why she's so vital for the Sharks. She's able to get up and get those rebounds, just rebounds off of her own shots, too.
Yes, pretty impressive when you can get the ball back after your own missed free throw. Santa Cruz foul heads to the bench, and there is Papara back into the game. But Venner, another missed free throw. This has been another thing that's starting to really cost Miami-Dade. If they want to get back into this game, they're going to need to improve on the 50% foul shooting they've had so far this evening. 6 of 12 after that one.
Timeout, Miami-Dade.
And we're going to have a timeout by the Sharks. So 44-38 is the score. We're going to be back in just a moment.
Eastern Florida State College has a 2-year aerospace technology degree. We are the only school in the state of Florida that offers this degree. The program is taught by industry professionals. All of the instructors are currently employed or previously employed at NASA. The program manager was part of NASA for 35 years. So you're not getting just somebody that has a degree that's teaching you stuff about aerospace. You're learning from people that actually worked in the aerospace field or currently working in the aerospace field.
And coming out of the timeout, June, I'm seeing Venner still out on the floor for Miami-Dade. Has to be careful with those 4 fouls.
Yeah, I think she's had a bit more of a conservative approach. She knows the situation that's going on, so I think Coach Summons has been quite comfortable with keeping her into this game for now, especially with them kind of eating back into this game.
She has a close call there as Merkovich gets a nice touch on the finish, 46-38. A nice up fake, drawing the contest from Callahan and then moving past. Venner came over, but as you just mentioned, conservative approach, not wanting to draw the foul. Wasn't too aggressive in getting in the face of Merkovic. This one from the outside off the mark. Nice offensive board by Venner. Too strong on the putback. Here is Spence. Pressure comes up in her face. She dribbles around through, and a late whistle. Foul call on Bynum of the Sharks.
Yeah, it looks like the Sharks are kind of going back into that press right there. I think they know what the situation is. And, again, they're trying to go and force the turnovers on the Titans.
They know that they need to generate easy buckets. They got one off a rebound earlier in this third quarter, but other than that, they've not been coming easy. Titans defense holding strong and maintaining an 8-point lead at the moment. Eastern Florida will swing it around. Papara now. Spence, good pass. Elbow shot from Merkovich. Too short. Loose ball foul is going to be called on Spence.
Fouls on number 13, Angelina Spence, her first, team's fifth.
Team's 5th foul, so that is going to send Rihanna Callahan to the foul line.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans so far, the one thing is that they're kind of picking up on the fouls themselves in this second half. The Sharks have been at the line several times now.
They really have, and still over 2 minutes to play. Any fouls on Eastern Florida from here out is straight to the free throw line for Miami-Dade, so we'll see how aggressive they are in attacking the rim. Callahan converts the first one. It's kind of a Not a win-win scenario for Miami-Dade because you do want to be aggressive and force the issue and try and get the ball inside, create good shots, draw contact. But when you're not converting from the free throw line at an efficient rate, as Callahan just knocks down both there, though, you kind of worry about, is that actually the best option for your offense versus generating clean, quality looks from wherever you can find them?
Yeah, and again, we kind of talked about it earlier. They're not the best free throw shooting team. They're shooting just under 60% from the line this season.
Well, they hit both there, so it's 46-40. Passing up on the corner triple is Spence. Back out, Merkovic will take it and hits.
Angela Merkovic.
Again, it's been huge for the Titans. Again, point distribution. Now they got 3 players on the Titans that have over double-digit points.
Great shot from Merkovic on this end. Bynum can't convert. Titans looking to push their advantage back to double digits. Nice pass from Spitz. Merkovic again. Too strong. Offensive board. Papara, beautiful pass. 51-40 on the no-look. Behind the back feed. Beautiful assist. That one's banked in from the top of the arc. The Sharks, I guess their financial institutions open after hours if you're a Miami-Dade player. That's the second one we've seen off glass in this third quarter. It's 51-43. Good shot there from Aravena.
The other thing I was going to say is, seems like that injury on Paparo is not really affecting her that much. I mean, right there in the paint, able to find a really good pass over to Merkovic.
That was excellent. Yeah, took a little shot earlier, but still able to see clearly. Got eyes in the back of her head as well. Bynum with a tricky finish, double clutching. And they're going to see a foul picked up.
Fouls on number 2, Jasmine Bynum, her 4.
Jasmine Bynum now with 4 fouls as well, June.
And again, the foul trouble just kind of seems to just keep following the Sharks even in the second half.
It does. That's now 2 of their starters that are going to have to watch it in the final frame. And traveling violation called on Grace Strickland.
It looks like Strickland was trying to get into the paint and trying to get it over to Angelina Spence, who was wide open in the corner.
Unable to do so as she took an extra step. Here come the Sharks. 35 seconds and counting. Passing up on the 3 ball, drawing a couple defenders to go up. Nice pass swung over, but not held onto by Venner. Paparo will have to pull it back, does nicely. She has some room to operate. Titans moving around. Merkovic. That one from the outside does not go down. That one thrown up and off the mark from Aravena. 5 seconds left in this third quarter. De Silva will give it to Merkovic. That 3 short irons. No whistle before the buzzer, so it's going to be a 51-43 game heading into the 4th, June. This one's still anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. The Sharks, despite, the Titans, despite the Sharks having a really good start to the third quarter, have been able to bounce back and, again, kind of keep doing what they were doing in the first half offensively.
They did and hung in there. Titans, nice job kind of responding. Each team going a little bit tit for tat at any given moment of that third quarter. We'll see how they come out in the 4th. We'll be back in just a minute.
Build a successful career with a bachelor's degree from Eastern Florida State College. You can choose from nearly 25 tracks in today's top job fields of business, healthcare, and computer technologies, with classes tailored to meet your needs on campus and online. A bright future awaits you with a bachelor's degree from Eastern Florida State College. To learn more, visit easternflorida.edu/go.
All right, June. So as this fourth quarter is about to start, we mentioned earlier in the second half what the Sharks could do to slow down De Silva. What did you see in that third quarter that Miami-Dade was able to do to slow her down?
Yeah, it looks like the Sharks were putting Rihanna Callahan on De Silva. So a bit of a size mismatch there, and the Titans haven't really been able to get De Silva those open looks and find her in the corner.
They didn't, and as you mentioned, Rihanna Callahan, she comes up empty, getting stuffed on that shot attempt, and De Silva right off the bat. Callahan wasn't back yet. Nobody on De Silva, knocking down the wide open tray.
Yeah,
54-43.
As we're saying, they couldn't find the open look for her. They just did right there. It's a good start for the Titans in the fourth quarter.
I love it when we're able to jinx or kind of foreshadow things so perfectly. It's just how we drew it up, right?
Exactly.
There she won't pull the trigger on that one from the corner. Instead, the Titans swing it around, and inside Papara can't connect with the right hand. Callahan hauls in the board.
And one thing I got to say, I got to love how Papara has been so aggressive, even coming off of that injury. I mean, injury right there above her left eye, but she's just come back. It's like she's had a third eye on her. She's been all over the court.
She has. And quickly, you talked a lot about in the last quarter the foul trouble. That first one for the Sharks was picked up by Sage McLeod, the freshman center from Leesburg, Florida. Just over a minute into the fourth. We weren't going to keep a close eye on that. Again, highlighting the foul trouble. There was 4 so far on National Player of the Week, Meredith Vinner, and number 2, Jasmine Bynum for the Sharks. And Papara has done a fine job still forcing the issue inside. Santa Cruz wants to launch, has permission to fire, doesn't connect. Cleaning up the glasses, Papara. There you go, back at it inside.
And again, Papara is I think she's been fantastic ever since she's checked right back into this game after that injury. It's been really aggressive, not even just defensively, but offensively too, against the glass and in the paint.
And the Titans coming away with the ball, looking to keep at it. Strickland to lose it. Aggressive take there, but didn't have control and lost the ball out of bounds to the Sharks. Strickland had done a fine job engineering the offense and coming up with some beautiful assists from the middle of the floor. The sophomore guard from London, England, previously played at Mercyhurst University. Sharks have a 13-point deficit to climb out of with 8 minutes to go. That shot going down is going to help as Constanza Aravena, the 5'7" freshman from Chile, knocks it down from the free throw line.
You gotta love how Strickland's orchestrating the offense for the Titans. She's already got herself a double-double.
Orchestrating and getting it back that time off the mark with the 3 ball. The ball movement has, for the most part, been really good from the Titans today, with the exception of that time we mentioned it and right on cue, telegraph pass. Cross court was stolen and taken the other way. Miami-Dade has settled down and kind of slowed the turnovers. Still at 20 for the game, though. Bynum with a nice take and finish through the tough defense of Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to mention, too, for the Sharks, Venner is still on this court, and we could probably expect her to be playing for the rest of this fourth quarter if or when she fouls out.
Nice job beating the double team with the cross-court pass by Papara. And again, ball movement, quick, short passes, smart plays. Papara with the finish. Titans push the advantage back to double digits again.
And again, there's Papara again, just being super aggressive in the paint and against the glass and able to get that one.
Ooh, and nicely knocking that one down. Colberth, the leading scorer tonight for the Sharks. That's 14 now for her, June.
Yeah, I mean, again, with Meredith Venner having to sit out a couple of minutes, especially in that first half, they needed somebody else to come up big, and Colberth has been doing that for the Sharks.
And then just like we saw a couple times in the last frame, Strickland again makes the defense bite as she drives to the foul line, and then finding Merkovic at the block with the up fake, an easy bucket. 60-50 here. Down low, the finish for the Sharks. Back and forth, the offenses are clicking on all cylinders for the first time tonight for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, it has been, and it's not due to a lack of defensive effort. I think both offenses, like what you said, they're just clicking on all cylinders, and the ball movement from both teams have been really working out for them.
And heading the deck there, that is going to be a timeout called. Zach Banks right on top of things. Saw his player get into a bad position. It's going to be tough to pass out of there. We're going to step away for just a second. 5:55 to go. 8-point Titan lead in the fourth quarter.
There's a lot of things you're good at. So what do you like to do that you want to do for the rest of your life?
And get paid.
At Eastern Florida State College, there's so many choices. With more than 100 career and technical programs to choose from, like aerospace and engineering technologies, aviation, welding, public safety, and more. There's definitely one you'll be good at. Learn at your own pace, in person, online, day or night.
What are you good at?
So come on, let's get started.
All right, June. So over 4 minutes into the final quarter already. Titans still up by 8, same margin they entered with. But I think what's most notable is who has remained on the floor in this fourth quarter for the Sharks. And who is that?
It's Meredith Venner. Again, National Player of the Week. We said it multiple times over the broadcast, but you just can't really afford to take her out, especially trailing by 8 points with just under 6 minutes left in the entirety of the game. And again, I don't expect her to come out until she fouls out of this game.
No, I can't imagine Coach Susan Summons will want to make that change. Like you put it, also probably can't afford to. Now we got the stack. Baseline inbounds. Goes outside. Merkovic swung around to De Silva. Titans operating the offense. Both teams operating very efficiently in this fourth quarter. No foul call there as Papara hit the deck. Back comes Miami-Dade. Looking for Venner inside. She'll move. Interesting looking right hand attempt, swinging left. Short ironed that one.
Yeah, Venner's been able to get into the paint nicely there, but just not really able to finish off her shots today.
No, been a limited factor on the offensive end between the foul trouble and just the Sharks have had a hard time getting good looks for her at Mass. Strickland with the beautiful drive, but it toilet bowls out. Spun all the way around and back up. Rebound Sharks. This one from the outside. Goes long to Silva. Physical board there. Santa Cruz will pull it up and let De Silva cross half court with it. Pass off to Strickland. In the final half of the fourth quarter, June, 60-52.
Yeah, now they got De Silva kind of working the top of the key there for the Titans.
As it comes back around, that three ball off the mark. Santa Cruz with the stick back. No. Just didn't have the right angle on that one. Bynum swings it around. Adavena up top. Has Merkovic on her. Lots of room, though, and connects.
How about that for a contested three? Exactly what the Sharks need in this, with just about 4 minutes left in this game.
Well, contested, but from a distance. That makes it just a 5-point difference. Less than 4 minutes to go now. The intensity ratcheting up here. Friends, family. It is fans and friends night here at Titan Fieldhouse in Eastern Florida. Driving baseline, and that foul call.
Fouls are number 5, Sage McLeod.
That's Sage McLeod's second, just the second team foul, so it's still a baseline inbound. Each one crucial here in the final minutes of this action. Excellent job by Colberth jumping the passing lane, knocking it out of bounds. Here we go. Once again, everybody getting onto the edge of their seats as this has been a tight one. At times, Eastern Florida had things seemingly under control with double-digit leads at multiple points. There, off the mark, tipped around, offensive board out to Santa Cruz. Swing to Strickland. Inside-out game has been a thing of beauty for Eastern Florida tonight, June.
Yeah, I mean, again, you see how they're working it. They're being really patient, trying to find the open looks. Overall, been operating the shot clock pretty well, too.
The open look there for De Silva from the corner. Can't hit. She's missed the last few three-pointers she's taken. Now Vinner underneath the basket, spins, steps on the line. Turnover, Miami-Dade. That is their 21st. That is a 21-11 difference in turnovers, June. You've mentioned it multiple times throughout the night. The points off turnover difference, 15 for the Titans, only 8 for Miami-Dade.
Yeah, and again, I think what we've been seeing too from Meredith Venner is that she's been really frustrated the entirety of this game. Not only her foul trouble, but she's not really getting the looks that she wants. And again, just stepping out of bounds, there's a little bit of lack of awareness there and turning the ball over right back to the Titans.
Yes, indeed. Not getting the looks she wants, not converting on the ones she's had. Just 3 of 10 tonight for the star player. And a reach-in call on Aravena.
Fouls under 14, Constanza Aravena, her first, team's third.
Third personal and third team fouls. We have the 2.5-minute mark of the fourth quarter on the inbound. Back into a man-to-man. We saw Miami-Dade in a zone for much of the second half. Now working the high screen and roll. Strickland nicely at the elbow. Finds Santa Cruz. Baseline under the basket. De Silva in the corner. She'll take it. Open. Finds the teammate Merkovic. The lay-in. Beautiful pass. An easy finish. 7-point lead. 2 minutes to go.
Hey, like what you said, Ty, beautiful is the right word. That was just great ball movement by the Titans.
Nice finish. McLeod had the double team about to collapse on her, puts it up and in, keeping it at just 5 points. 62-57. Every possession becoming crucial now for each team. Merkovic working the block outside of Santa Cruz. Smart basketball, being patient. Papara tries to feed to Santa Cruz, gets to her, and the finish. Off the deflection, she still gets the pass through to her teammate. Back up to a 7-point lead. Vinner inside, quick bucket, exactly what Miami-Dade needed.
That's exactly what Meredith Venner's been looking for all night long. She's finally able to get it there, especially in the crucial moments of this game.
Excellent job with the first step, not wasting any time, allowing her defender to get her feet set and get position. Now stripped of it, Aravena spins, avoiding Santa Cruz, and that's going to be a carry call. She lost handle of it on the tenacious defense played by Santa Cruz.
Well,
that's the first time we've seen the carry called tonight, and at such a pivotal moment, just 57 seconds to play, June.
Yeah, like I was going to say, is like that's got to hurt if you're the Sharks. I mean, you're able to force a turnover, get the ball, try to get some quick points, but just a carry call there, just a little bit of a lack of awareness.
Oh, that's huge, too, because in transition, probably an easy 2 the other way. This could be a 4 or 5 point swing, depending on what the Titans do. Papara loses it, though, so here's another chance for Miami-Dade. 30 seconds to go. Back out. Bynum wants a 3-ball. Short. Vinner underneath. Can't get the stick back. The Sharks are going to have to foul. There's just 20 seconds left. Yeah. 5-point lead, and there it is. Aravena's fourth.
Yeah, the Sharks just have to be a bit quicker with getting the foul. They got to recognize how much time is left into this game. Every single second is crucial, especially with how tight it's been.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, that 3 would have been huge, but instead we're going to get a timeout because it's a 5-point difference with 18 to go. We'll be right back after this timeout. right, June. Well, we've got exciting action on the court and off the court. We just had a giveaway for a $25 gift card and a couple of tickets to an upcoming barbecue here on the 21st. So we just want to let any of our fans know who are making their way here for the game. The men's is going to be tipping off about 20 minutes after action concludes, and the women's for tonight's doubleheader between Miami-Dade and Eastern Florida. It's 64-59 in Titan Fieldhouse. The home side trying to hold on. Probably going to be sent to the foul line right after the inbound because Miami-Dade can't afford to waste any time. There's 4 team fouls. The next one will send the Titans to the charity stripe. Grace Strickland will be inbounding the ball. Good defense for Miami-Dade here, and a tight. And that's actually going to be a turnover as Strickland stepped across the line. The official, Jarrell Bailey, making the call there. That is huge now.
Yeah, I don't think Strickland really agreed with that call, but Papara came over to her, just saying, just let it play out. It's okay. I mean, they still have the 6-point lead, 17 seconds left.
With no time elapsing, the clock will be reset to 18.4. Miami-Dade now with the chance to basically get a free possession off that turnover. Going to be looking for threes, of course, because they're still going to have to foul going back the other way. I think it's important to note, you pointed out earlier, June, that Miami-Dade's free throw shooting under 60% average on the season, whereas Eastern Florida closer to 70%. That's a big difference. They're going to have to rely on that down the stretch.
Yeah, and again, they've really proven it here tonight. And for the Sharks, 6-point deficit right now, 18.4 seconds left. Not a lot of time to operate with, but this possession really should be huge for them. They need to get some points off of this.
It's not, but shooting numbers almost even, except for at the foul line, where Miami-Dade 8 of 14, the Titans a perfect 4 for 4, limited chances, but converted when they've gotten there. Merkovic is going to be guarding the inbounding Colberth. Colberth gets it into the corner. Getting her defender to bite. Step back three. Buries it. Huge shot from Ottavena. Now on the inbound there is a whistle. I'm trying to see if that was away from the ball or not. Summons has some orders for her team defensively on what to do. 2-point game as the foot was on the line. So just a 2-pointer made there for the freshman Ottavena.
Yeah, again, but they were able to get points off of that possession. Again, a bit unlucky for it not to be a three-pointer for them, but they have eaten into this lead. 12.5 seconds left. You know, the Sharks are going to look to try and force a turnover, try and get the ball back here.
And actually, June, there is a correction on the score sheet, so I was going based off the scoreboard. It was a 3, so it's a 2-point game now, and Papara fouled immediately. I believe that's going to go on number 21, Colberth.
Fouls on number 21, Johnny Colberth.
Again, free throws are going to be huge here for the Titans.
It is 10.8. I mentioned a moment ago, 4 for 4 so far tonight. Here's Papara at the line. The Titans up 2. And calmly swishing the first. Huge there, looking to make it a 2-possession game if she can connect on both. The first one's off the short iron, an immediate timeout granted to Miami-Dade. Summons going to talk it over with her team. 10.1 to go, June. Chance to knot it up with a 3-ball.
Again, those free throws, again, they were huge. Papara was able to only make one of the 2, and now it keeps it at a 1-possession game. And again, a very quick timeout by Coach Summons, and the Sharks really going to try to see what they can orchestrate here going forward, trying to get an open look beyond the arc and tie this game up.
Man, how exciting is this? We weren't sure we were going to have this kind of a thrilling finish when it was a 13-point advantage for the Titans in this second half. But back have come the Sharks, and they saw an opening, or dare I say, maybe smelled blood in the water as they were able to crawl their way back into this one. And you just heard it. Ba-bum, 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 ba-da-da. And Miami-Dade with the last shot opportunity can send this one to overtime with the 3, or maybe they'll look for a quick 2 and to continue to play the foul game if they have something easy down low off the inbound. There it is up top. Ottavena has Colberth with the 3, and she hits! 5.6. The Titans have a chance to take the last shot, and they're content with playing for overtime.
Wow! That is unbelievable there. The Sharks have really just crawled their way back into this game slowly but surely, and you can see them celebrating on the bench there. I mean, that was huge.
Woo! Yeah, sorry there, partner. I just had to let it breathe for a moment. I'm trying to collect myself because I wasn't exactly sure if the Titans, who had a timeout remaining, opted not to use it, or if just in the moment wanted to try and catch Miami-Dade off guard and nobody chose to act on it, having to come from the backcourt. 5.6 left after the made 3 by Colberth. No bucket bigger than that one. Game-tying 3. June, I don't know that we would have expected exactly what we've seen, like I said, for Miami-Dade to come back from 13, but that is what a team that has played well so far this year can do.
And again,
when they get just together. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, again, Miami-Dade's not a team that shoots particularly well from beyond the arc either, but Colberth today has been perfect. She's 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Yes, and no basket bigger than that one. 7 of 11 overall to go along with 9 rebounds. A very strong effort. Kind of a player of the game performance if she can continue it in the extra period. The tip knocked around a couple of times, controlled by the Sharks. Here we go in the extra frame. 65 all. 5-minute period. Ball knocked away. Colberth comes up with it. Miami-Dade looking to settle it down. Ottavena trying to get it down low. McLeod now turns around, too strong. Offensive board. Venner is fouled, trying to go back up with it.
They had about 3 Titan players were around Venner there. And again, it's huge. She hasn't gotten a foul picked up in that fourth quarter. And again, she's in some serious foul trouble, but she's been very conservative on her play and is able to keep herself in it.
She is, and now that foul perked up by Merkovic. First free throw is good for Venner. Still a plus 10 rebounding margin, plus 11 now after that one. Second one off the mark, though. Santa Cruz will take it. 66-65, Sharks with the advantage.
Again, I think one thing the Titans really need to do is just a bit settle down. I think they're a little bit rattled with how the Sharks just quickly came back into this game.
How could you not be? I mean, the momentum completely shifted the final few minutes of that fourth quarter, June. Now looking to find a good shot. Strickland will pull up from nearly 30 feet off the mark. Ottavena working quickly. Nearly has it knocked away from behind by Santa Cruz, who has been everywhere defensively tonight. Down low, a travel is called on McLeod. Huge turnover there. The 23rd for Miami-Dade tonight, and there's going to be a substitution. Looking to bring more size into the game. In comes the 6-foot Da Silva, replacing 5'7" guard Ottavena.
And I think size is exactly what the Sharks are kind of needing, and it's been clearly affecting the Titans, who are a little bit undermatched in terms of that.
Wow. Well, size or not, the rebounding has been controlled by the Sharks. It didn't prove to pay off early on, but it came back in their favor. Da Silva from the corner, once again off the mark, hasn't been able to hit. Fighting off for the rebound there is Da Silva of the Sharks, now down low. Great defense by Merkovic, that's last touched by her. Getting her hands up and preventing the bucket from Venner.
And again, despite the strong performance by Bruno Da Silva in that first half, she's been relatively quiet in this second half, which has kind of played a huge part to the Sharks really coming back into this game.
It has. Three-pointer knocked down from the corner by Bynum. It is a 4-point lead, Miami-Dade. The Titans still looking for their first Citrus Conference win of the year at 5-10, 0-3 in conference play so far. Papara's baseline jumper, no good. Trying to strip it was Bruna Da Silva. She's going to pick up the foul call.
Fouls on number 4, Bruna Da Silva.
Getting a hand from her teammates, getting back up.
And the one thing is that every time Da Silva's been getting the ball from beyond the arc, 2 Sharks players are coming and trying to close her down.
An excellent adjustment that Coach Summons must have made at halftime by Miami-Dade, because Da Silva was having her way with the Sharks defense in the first half. Here, the turnaround jumper is good. Vinner getting things going now after a relatively quiet night through the first few quarters. Titans, almost desperation time as they're down 6. Passing up on the outside shot, a nice entry feed. Off the mark, Merkovic, and the Titans can't get the rebound. Another reach-in foul called on Bruna Da Silva.
Well, I mean, just nothing really seems to be going right for the Titans right now. They still have not been able to shake off how quickly the Sharks came back into this game. And again, a couple of hands-on heads there as to what's going wrong for them.
That's huge. This is, I believe, a 12-0 run now in favor of Miami-Dade, and that was the 4th foul on Bruna Da Silva. No foul called there as Vinner hits the deck out of bounds. Back to the Titans. Here's a chance for them now, June, with just over 2 minutes to go in overtime, needing a score.
Yeah, again, they're still in this game. You know, despite what's been going on in the momentum swinger, the Titans are only down by 2 possessions.
It is just a 2-possession game, and we're going to have a timeout for Zach Banks and the Titans to talk it over. Summons and her group a chance as well. We'll be right back after this. 71-65 in overtime in Melbourne. Back here with overtime action at Titan Fieldhouse. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on EFSC Fans and Friends Night. Got some exciting giveaways, activities on the court, but nothing beats what we have seen in tonight's game. We thought Eastern Florida was going to pull away as they mounted a 13-point lead late, and charging back hard were the Sharks to draw even, force overtime on a late 3 from Ajana Colberth, knotting it at 65, and then it has been all Miami-Dade in overtime, 71-65. A push-off by Da Silva. That is her 5th foul.
Offensive foul, number 20, Grace Strickland.
I beg your pardon, the foul is on Grace Strickland. But that is the 4th team foul of overtime. One more, and the Sharks will be shooting free throws, June.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans they've just been making some careless mistakes going offensively, not really been able to figure out what's been going wrong for them. But again, the Sharks have just had all the momentum on their side and have been just really confident defensively.
Confident defense and confident, perhaps boosted by their shot making on the other end. Here's Adavena. 3-ball rolls around, an excellent job on the offensive glass. Picking up the 5th foul was McLeod, fighting hard against like 3 or 4 Titans players down low for that one. Foul call is actually against Miami-Dade though, so Titans ball. Desperate need of a bucket, down 6, minute and a half to go.
I was just about to say the Sharks winning the rebound battle all night, but they've kind of finally been able to take advantage of that here late in the second half and into overtime.
And the Sharks now at their season average for rebounds. The takeaway given right back. Here's Santa Cruz once again. A risky pass forced through the and jumping the cross court intercepting it was Santa Cruz and having it knocked away from her to go out of bounds. Titans retain possession under the basket. Man, has this been some intense stuff back and forth.
Yeah, the Titans really have to get something going, and, you know, it's kind of a jinx there.
And a very quick call for a jump ball. The tie-up there favors Miami-Dade, but just not careful enough the last few times down the floor for either team, kind of forcing the passes more than they have at times, especially for Eastern Florida.
Yeah, and again, it's not really been working in their favor late in that fourth quarter and into overtime. They just can't really seem to get anything going.
Santa Cruz nearly jumped another one. Colbert's shot too strong off glass, rims out. Strickland now working up the court with De Silva. She'll get it back, fires the three, short. Last touched by a Sharks. That's going to stay here. Titans, 46 seconds left in overtime, and they have yet to put up a point in the extra period.
Again, they got to draw something up. That's got to work perfectly for them here. They really have to get going. Less than a minute left.
They have not found an easy chance. That one was knocked away. Hustling for it, diving after it. Colliding with the legs of Merkovic. Teammates rushing over to check on her. Great hustle after initially seeming like they were just going to let that one go out of bounds.
Yeah, and it looks like Angela Merkovic just kind of got the worst end of that collision there.
Absolutely did, June, and the hustle paid off for Otavena because after she dove for it, it was last touched by Merkovic. So going off out of bounds off a Titan, that means the Sharks get the ball back with just 41 seconds left. And a 6-point lead.
Yeah, it's 2-possession lead, 6 points, less than a minute left. It's going to be really difficult for the Titans to try and find their way back into this game, a game where they really haven't been trailing for all that much.
And so that's actually going to be the foul call. Otavena can't connect on the first free throw.
If you're the Titans here, you got to get ready for a defensive rebound if Otavena misses this free throw.
Otavena, one of the stronger free throw shooters at nearly 77% this year, knocks down the second. 72-65 game. Once again, men's action coming up right after this in the doubleheader, but we've had some bonus basketball in Melbourne. 41 seconds left and a 7-point advantage. Just want to do a quick look ahead for both teams in their upcoming games. The Sharks are going back home to face St. Petersburg College on the 14th. That game will be at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. The Titans are going to be hitting the road, and they're going to play Santa Fe on Saturday the 10th at 2 o'clock, followed by another road game against Florida Southwestern State Wednesday the 14th at 5 before returning home on Saturday the 17th back here at Titan Fieldhouse. Zach Banks' squad back out on the floor. Santa Cruz is going to be inbounding it in the front court for the Titans. Defensively, look to see what Summons has in mind, as they have done a phenomenal job keeping Eastern Florida off the board in this extra period. 3-ball Merkovic is good.
And exactly what the Titans needed.
Yes, June, not only a quick basket, but a 3-ball. That is huge. Still facing a 4-point deficit and a quick foul. Wasting absolutely no time. This is going to send Otavena back to the line.
And again, but they really can't be wasting any time. Got to get quick points, foul quickly. Only 34 seconds left. Still down by 4 points.
Besides the obvious of needing to hit these free throws, which Otavena does on the first, what else does Miami-Dade need to do to prevent the Titans from being able to get back into this?
Yeah, I think it's just the way that the Sharks have been playing on defense late in the fourth quarter and here in overtime. Just been playing tight, but it's Papara.
Well, they didn't do it there because they allowed Papara the wide open look from the top of the key, and another quick triple. The ball was deflected, but nearly stolen by Grace Slickland. So Miami-Dade takes the break here. Summons wanting to talk it over with her squad as it's a one-possession game, June.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, they kind of laid off a bit there defensively, and I understand it was a two-possession ball game, but again, with not a lot of time left on the clock, and with the healthy, well, what was a healthy lead at first for the Sharks, now been cut down to just one possession.
I mean, wow. This game has been awesome, kind of the unexpectedness of the comebacks for either side, and the momentum shifts have been very fun to watch. Couple of quick notes in our box score. Ofer Papara just got herself a double-double with that tray, 14-10 to go along with 6 assists tonight. On the other side, Ajani Kulberth with 17 and 10 herself on an efficient 7 of 12, perfect from deep, 3 for 3 beyond the arc. We have a 74-71 Sharks lead coming out of their timeout, 26 seconds to go. Both teams in the bonus in the extra period, so a foul for either side will send them to the free throw line. Be mindful of watching that, of course, because the Titans are in a must-foul situation. 1 timeout remaining for Eastern Florida. And the full court pressure trying to come up with the steal. Santa Cruz can't. Here is Bynum. The trap in the backcourt, they beat it. Now quick passing from Miami-Dade. Strickland doesn't get the foul. Pass over, missed. Here's a chance for the tie for the Titans. Pass up ahead, Strickland. Corner, De Silva drives. She'll have to kick it back out. Inside 5 seconds. The 3 is off the mark. Foul on Venner inside 1 second. That was the shot right there, June. No good.
Wow, I mean, but you got to applaud the Titans' effort on playing defensively there. Got a little bit lucky off of that missed shot by the Sharks, but they were able to get it down quickly in transition. But again, just Grace Strickland not able to get that 3 ball down for them.
Wow, wow, wow. Cannot believe Miami-Dade, instead of running out the clock, did have a wide open look underneath and an easy 2. Didn't convert. Titans get the rebound, come down the other way, and after the drive and kick from De Silva to Strickland, empty on the triple. Now that free throw from Venner, and another makes it 76-71. This one is going to hurt for the home side. They had a double-digit lead at multiple times tonight, let the Sharks back into it. An amazing 3-ball from Kulberth, who I'm going to go ahead and nominate as my player of the game, finishing with, like I said, that double-double. Her teammate Venner finishes with 1 now, too. 18 and 10 tonight, but the biggest shot of the game, that 3 to tie it, June, at 65. It was all Sharks for the majority of overtime.
Yeah, I mean, and again, just not only just overtime, but towards the end of that 4th quarter, the Sharks really started to take over. Kulberth really came up big, where Venner was a bit quiet in this game up until late, but Kulberth was able to take over herself and make those big shots, able to eat into that Titans lead and eventually tie it, send the game into overtime.
I mean, my goodness, folks, I hope that you enjoyed that as much as we did. It's been a pleasure calling the first half of the doubleheader for you. If you got to catch any part of that one, you got to enjoy a good one between the women's squads. We hope that the men's game can just live up even somewhat to what we saw in the first half of it. Final score 76-71. June, why don't you point out a few key stats and other takeaways from the women's game?
I'll say, I mean, with the Sharks, we talked about a bit of the turnover issue that they've had, but towards that second half, it really slowed down a bit, and they were able to kind of calm down and get back into the game, especially offensively, and able to eat into what was at one point a 13-point Titans lead.
It was a massive shift, a lot of excitement for all those in attendance here at Titan Fieldhouse and for all of you tuning in at home. We appreciate you listening. Don't go anywhere, because in about 20 minutes we're going to have the men's action starting off for you. A lot of excitement in that one too. Once again, it's 76-71 for the visiting Sharks over the Titans. They improved to 10-6, 4-2 in conference play, whereas the Titans will drop to 5-11, still seeking their first Citrus Conference win of the year. We'll be back shortly. Thanks for listening to the first half of the broadcast. I'm Ty Heckathorn, and for my broadcast partner, June Yoon, we'll catch you in just a little bit.